Agatha Sangamaji, please. Ji.
Honorable Chairperson, for giving me an opportunity to speak on this very, very important discussion on climate change. Sir, at the outset, I would like to acknowledge some of the commitments made by the Honorable Prime Minister in the COP26 at Glasgow. The Honorable Prime Minister committed that by 2070, India will ensure that its net carbon emissions will be zero. By 2030, India will ensure that 50% of its energy will be sourced from renewable energy. 2030, India will reduce its carbon emissions by 1 billion tons. By 2030, India will also reduce its emission intensity per unit of GDP by less than 45%. Also, sir, there were some announcements made by the Prime Minister regarding supporting infrastructure in small island countries, which must be appreciated. The One Sun, One World Grid group was also announced by our Prime Minister, which was led by India and must be acknowledged. Incidentally, sir, the third promise made in India's NDC, which is about increasing the forest cover, did not find a mention in the Honorable Prime Minister's speech. And that is the only target that India is struggling to achieve. In the NDC, India has promised to create an additional carbon sink of 2.5 billion to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent through forest and tree cover by the year 2030. Sir, because of the paucity of time, I would like to focus on this issue and primarily in the context of my state of Meghalaya. 76% of Meghalaya is covered by forest, and sir, my state is a very biodiversity-rich hotspot. Our biodiversity heritage and reputation is at par with one of the world's most unique ecosystems. And it contributes to one of the most significant carbon sinks for India, which is crucial for our country in its bid to honor the pledges made at the Paris Accord and for realizing its global environmental commitments. It is very critical for all of us to understand that our forests and our biodiversity perform very important ecosystem services for the nation and for its people. It is also this distinctive ecological profile of the Indo-Himalayan region that places us at the front line of climate change, a reality that is hurtling at us without any signs of stopping. I am taking a stand today to remind us that for the Northeast and for the Indo-Himalayan region, which is significantly different from the rest of the country geographically, our nation and environmental capital is one of the most significant wealth that should be dictating our development and growth doctrine of the future. So because of our unique ecological status, states like Meghalaya cannot afford to have a nature-negative industrial growth, and we need to reattune, reconfigure our economic and social mindset to green our economies. So in this, I would like to flag the issue of the palm oil mission, which was announced or which was introduced by the cabinet, approved by the cabinet in August 2021, which is focusing primarily in the Northeast and the Andaman Nicobar Islands. In 2020, the Indian Council for Forestry Research and Education had recommended that introducing the palm oil should be avoided in areas which are rich in biodiversity and must be done after proper consultation. So here, sir, I would request the Honorable Minister to kindly reconsider this and go into a proper consultation before heading for this mission in the Northeast and in the Andaman Nicobar Islands, where our biodiversity is so rich. So I would also like to speak about the concept of environment state. This is something which is a newly minted idea by the Department of Environment and Forest, Government of Meghalaya, under the leadership of our Minister, Mr. James Sangma. And the idea, it advocates environment-first economies and social model for Indo-Himalayan region, which houses forest economies and biodiversity hotspots like us. So what does an environment state mean? It means we need to innovate and be the first in the world to integrate nature in all aspects of development and growth. Northeast can be a unique green laboratory for the world. Our young population and public sector leadership envisions Meghalaya to be a world-class case study on the green frontier for India to innovate on green technologies, green jobs, and green economies, which needs to be implemented. On a regional level, Meghalaya aspires to be a leader to create a green bloc committed to finding solutions to fast depleting natural assets and rampant deforestation, and our forest-led and climate-dependent livelihoods. Sir, I'm told that the market for climate solutions is about a few $1 trillion, and this unique economic model plus political consensus can attract global technologies, industries, and businesses to flock to the Northeast region. The Forest and Environment Department of Meghalaya is currently working on mounting many initiatives in terms of linking and evolving livelihoods that are closely related to conservation, preservation, and restoring of our ecosystems, and are also inventorizing our natural capital. Meghalaya is also evolving a green livelihood template and looking at innovative financial means to shore up green finances for protection of our forests and biodiversity.
Okay.
Sir, I do have a few more
please.
points. Just can you give me, please, two more minutes,
1
sir?
minute.
Sir, just yesterday, I had attended a video conference where Mr. Eric Solheim was talking about how India is going to achieve the net zero target in 2070. And he said that there are 4 major issues that need to be looked at, which is renewable energy, electric mobiles, greening of our country, and green agriculture. In terms of renewable energy and electric mobiles, the government has many policies, and I would like to acknowledge those policies. So greening and protecting the, protecting and increasing our forest cover is also something that is being done by the government, and also at many state levels where these things are being pursued. There is an initiative in Bangalore which says "Say Trees," which is, meant for tree plantations. Also, sir, when it talks about greening our agriculture, I think we need to put more focus on organic farming, where Northeast plays a very, very important
Thank
role.
you.
And the examples that Northeast has given in states like Sikkim must be scaled up, sir.
Ji.
Sir,
Now please conclude within
sir,
2 or
just
3
two
sentences.
one
Ji.
more minute, sir. Sir, I also believe that in order to glue this whole concept together, it is very important for India to shift from a linear economy to a more circular economy. And I'm very happy to read about the government policies that have been activating policies and promoting projects to drive the country towards a more circular economy. It has already notified that various rules such
Shri
as
C.
plastic,
Thomas.
waste management, rules, and construction and demolition waste management reviews in this regard.
Sangama.
So there's just give me one more minute, sir.
Yeah, please,
So
please.
the Ellen MacArthur
Quick.
Foundation in its report has said that a circular economy trajectory would bring India an annual benefit of 40 lakh crores. And it would, in addition, reduce the negative externalities. Greenhouse gas emissions, for example, would be 44% lower in
Thank you.
2050 compared to the current
Now,
development
please.
path. So we have very finite resources.
Mr. Thomas, please start now.
And I urge the government to include the circular economy concept into the Atmanirbhar Bharat and in the smart cities concept. Also, sir, I request, so this is a very, very, I am extremely passionate about this issue, so I will request you to please give me a few more minutes, sir. I'm almost about to conclude.
No, that can't be. Please, 10 minutes already been done.
So can I conclude with a quote by Khalil Gibran, which says,
Ji, Khalil
I
Gibran,
quote,
yes.
"Trees are poems that the earth writes upon the sky. We fell them and turn them into paper so that we may record our emptiness," unquote. The crux of this is, sir, that our development...
That was the best way to conclude.
Sir, the conclusion is that I think that development today has to be reconsidered.
Thank you.
And we cannot follow
please.
the Western model of development. We have to work towards well-being of the planet and the people at the same time. Thank you so much.